one, the organization told me that this was the last slot and that it was the best slot. I'm not sure about that, but let's try our best. Okay, so as it has been said, we were here last year and I introduced the Traity score. The Traity score was a way to measure people's reputation based on their social media footprint. Everything you do on Uber, on Facebook, on eBay, on Airbnb, put it together to create one score that shows that you are trustworthy, and how we could convert that trustworthiness or reputation into a risk premium. Now, the very reason why I started Traity was that I was scammed online a few years ago. I bought a laptop on a second-hand website called Gumtree, based in the UK. I sent the money over a bank transfer, and I never got the product back. So we thought, why don't we use that technology we have built for that very problem? And that's how we came up with Kevin. Kevin is a chatbot insurance for the sharing economy. The name Kevin goes for Kevin Costner, the bodyguard. As you can imagine, it was supposed to be a project name, and then we got all excited about it, and then it remained as the real name. So today I'm going to show you a real demo of how Kevin works. And for that, I'm going to ask Jordi to join me today. Thank you, Jordi, for joining. And I'm going to sell to you this smartwatch, because nobody needs smartwatches anyway. So we might as well get rid of them.
Okay.
So if you want to switch to my phone or to your phone.
First one, thank you for inviting me in this presentation. Of course, it's great to be here with you and you all with this real presentation, because I would like this smartwatch.
Okay, so when you start with Kevin, it will just tell you what it does, right? It's going to insure you for up to $100 for any transaction that you do with a stranger. What it's going to do is to assess your credibility, it's going to assess my credibility, and it's going to decide to insure the sale of this smartwatch. So at this moment in time, Jordi will be the buyer and I will be the seller. The reason why we cover $100 is because we're doing this for free. Traity's Kevin is a bit of an experiment. It's a toy. We have done it in just a few weeks, just as a way to use our technology for something that was very real, very practical. It's not where we spend most of our time. Our core product is still the credit score technology, but we thought that this was a very clever use case for our own technology. So after Jordi has entered that he wants to buy a smartwatch from me for $50, and he says that he agrees to the pledge that he's not going to commit fraud, because everything is based on trust, he gets a code, which is SAFE47. So now we're going to switch to my laptop. So this was the link I got, right? The link I get is, imagine that we had met each other over Craigslist or Gumtree, or we were talking over WhatsApp or email. He would just send me this link, okay, the link that he just said, SAFE47. And it shows exactly what he was writing. I want to buy this smartwatch for $50, and this is me. I'm Jordi, and he's approved by Kevin in terms of credibility through his Facebook technology, through our Facebook technology. Now, I, as a buyer, as a seller, as Juan, I'm going to confirm that I'm also not going to commit any fraud. I just pledge my honor that that's going to be the case. So I agree. And at this moment, Kevin is analyzing my data from my Facebook account. Now, we use Facebook for this just because it's really simple, and it's really quick to integrate. But at Traity, we have been analyzing data from Facebook, LinkedIn, Uber, eBay, Airbnb, and another 25 networks that add to your reputation score. We have gotten so good at analyzing that data that when we got Facebook data from a user and Airbnb data from that user, it means that now, even though we only get the Facebook data, like in this case of Kevin, we can also predict how good you would be on eBay or Airbnb. And by extrapolation, how good you would be on Kevin. In this particular case, I am trustworthy enough for Kevin to approve the transaction, and we get this receipt. I get this receipt, which I'm going to break into pieces. First of all, it's showing that both Jordi and Juan are trustworthy, and that we can interact safely, that I can sell my smartwatch to him safely, he will not scam me, and I will not scam him. And then we create a receipt on blockchain. Now, every time I hear blockchain, especially when Accenture or Deloitte says that, it drives me a little crazy. Because there is, like everyone wants to speak about blockchain as a buzzword, but here it is really fundamental. Traity or Kevin are not insurance companies. We don't have massive balance sheets. So how can we prove that we have enough money to cover our liability? In this case, a $100 transaction for this purchase. We turn to blockchain. For every transaction that we make on Kevin, Kevin buys $10 worth of Bitcoin at that particular minute. With those $10 for a $100 liability, it means that we have 10% of liabilities to assets ratio, or assets to liabilities ratio. Now, insurance companies do this every year, once a year, with Standard & Poor's. It's a centralized approach where you have to trust Standard & Poor's that they are doing it right. With Kevin, that's not the case. Any of us can go right now to kevinsured.com, and at the bottom you will see the Bitcoin account that Kevin is holding, and you can see how much money Kevin has to cover for these liabilities. Right now it's buying $10 at this moment in time, and after we sell the smartwatch, which we can do right now, so let's just do it. So I'm selling you my smartwatch.
Well, 50?
50 euros, please.
Okay.
Real money, please.
Thank you.
That's real money. Okay. So now we can say that we can go back to the phone. And now that the transaction happened, this could have happened in real time, it could have happened over mail. It doesn't matter, right? It's a transaction that happens over Craigslist, Gumtree, any transaction online. Now we say, did the transaction happen? And let's say yes. Okay. Did you cancel? Did you cancel something?
Yes? No?
Looks like we have canceled the transaction. We can start a new one, but
Okay.
Can you click review?
Transaction.
Okay, we must have canceled the transaction by mistake.
Yeah.
Let me see.
It's the real.
Yeah, real
Real time, real life. I start.
Yeah, it looks like we have canceled the transaction. If you want to start a new one,
yes,
we can do it really quickly. Now, that blockchain technology, we call it the blockchain balance sheet. Obviously, in the case of Kevin, there are very small transactions, and it doesn't really matter. We could just say that we have enough money for it. But imagine what could happen if large insurance companies with $50 billion of liabilities, they could actually prove to anyone and be audited by anyone that they have the right liabilities ratio. That's really fundamental in terms of what insurance companies do. In terms of what the chatbot does, the chatbot is not really that important either. That's just a UI. What matters is the protocol that goes behind. The fact that we do real-time assessment for people's credibility. And in fact, we don't even care whether we were selling smartwatches or phones or computers or anything. In many cases, it will be train tickets. That doesn't really matter. Because what we are doing here at the most fundamental level is insuring people, not assets. Now, Amelie from AXA was talking earlier about holistic insurance. Now, consider holistic insurance from the point of view of insuring people, not assets. Today, we're used to insuring our home, our car, our whatever, our life. What if we could just be insured ourselves because we are trustworthy? What could happen to the insurance industry if we could trust our customers? How would that change our approach to customer service, to lean operations in claims? How would that change the way we do microinsurance when somebody comes to our shop? Maybe we don't need to do even KYC. There may be much cleverer ways to do that when you can trust your customers. So as I said, the Kevin technology is more of a toy. It's a bit of a, just a game we wanted to play. So far, we have not had a single fraud, which is really funny because we pretended this to be a bit of a honeypot and see who would commit fraud on this, because it's really easy, actually. I make a transaction with you. We say, hey, let's get $100 from Kevin, and we share the 50 later, right? Nobody has done it. It's really, really, really interesting so far. And that's...
okay.
Did you get to the... Oh, we
yes.
have to start this. I only have 30 seconds, so we don't really have time to do the review. The review system would be just like Airbnb. It just provides a way to do 5-star ratings to each other, which means that we don't only do prediction, but also prevention by creating accountability loops. It unbundles what has a marketplace like Craigslist and Gumtree to build more like Airbnb, which has insurance. So that's it from me, and thank you very much again for your attention.
Thank you. Sorry.